So before we get into the details on the update to the health order and also examining the comments made by local leadership and whether it's appropriate to raise questions on whether they're just bending to public sentiment, I ask you to watch this video because I think we're just inches away from becoming it here in Dufferin, and it's from America, and America isn't someplace we really want to be right now, I'd say. So, anyways, watch this, and then we'll come back. Thanks.
All right, so I'm in Market Basket, and they're telling me I need a mask, but we're in a free country, and I'm not wearing a mask because I have medical issues that I can't wear a mask. I refuse to put a mask on. I'm in a free country. I'm healthy. They can't allow me not to wear a mask. I have civil liberty rights. All lives matter. My life matters. What do they want me to drop dead wearing a goddamn mask? I want the manager. Disgusted. Americans need to speak up. What do you think about it? Whose protection? If you're sick and you feel comfortable wearing a mask, you should wear one. That's okay. But Joe, be careful for your freedom that's being taken away from you because they're having Black Lives Matter. They're having Black Lives Matter protests. All lives matter. All our lives matter, not just black lives. And I'm not wearing a mask. But I'm healthy. I have a very healthy. I get the cold. It's like a common cold. So this is the mentality. But I'm standing here waiting for the manager, and I don't care. Hi guys, because this is a real fight. Because they're taking away our amendment rights. They're taking away our freedoms. I had to wait in line to come in the store. Then they want me to put a mask like this. I'm healthy. I want the manager. I want the store manager. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really upset because I know, honey, it's not your fault. You're doing your job. This young gentleman has to do his job. But I feel as though if I'm healthy, I do not need to wear a mask. That's how I feel. You can disagree with me, but you know what? People died in nursing homes in my family because we couldn't see them. No funerals, but they're having the funeral for the black guy. That's okay. And his life mattered. But my aunt's life mattered too. And all the people that I know that lost parents, their lives mattered, but they weren't able that opportunity. Okay, let me call. Hold on a second. I'm not wearing a mask. I have health issues that I will pass out. Okay? So I have civil liberties, and I am not wearing a mask.
Don't feel the need to unpack all of that other than she was healthy and then she's not healthy because of a health condition. There's a lot of inconsistency there, and never mind all the ridiculousness she was spouting. But anyways, let's get into the details on the health order because that was ridiculous, and I don't want Dufferin to become that. I really don't. I don't want us to become famous for that. I don't need us being in the news for that. It's it's embarrassing. Anyways, so the health unit has provided some clarification on who should wear a face covering, who shouldn't. So if you're under the age of 2, or if you're under the age of 5, either chronologically or developmentally, and they refuse to wear a face covering and cannot be persuaded to by their caregiver. I mean, that makes sense, and that makes things a little bit easier. Now, another one is people whose ability is to breathe in any way is inhibited by the face covering. That actually, beyond, having to actually wear a face covering, I imagine. Now, with this one, people that have any other medical reason, they cannot wear a face covering safely. I didn't communicate that well in the first video. That's on me. But they provided some more clarification on that one. And it's saying this medical reason isn't limited to respiratory disease, cognitive difficulties, or difficulties in hearing or processing information. So, I mean, that makes sense. And this had me thinking about people that rely on reading lips to talk. That is difficult for sure, 100%. We're going to have to figure that one out, especially whether people speak louder or I don't know. But that is difficult during these times, for sure. So they also specified about face shields and whether they are adequate enough coverage. But they don't provide coverage for the mouth, nose, and chin. So they're not really adequate as far as the general public goes. But if you have a health condition that prevents you from wearing the mask, then this is better than nothing. So, I mean, that helps. So, I mean, if you're able to, that helps a lot. But again, nobody should be shamed for their inability to wear a mask, for their actual inability to wear a mask, because that's not fair. So the health unit has also clarified what is a commercial premises, which helps a lot because there was some things I was questioning as well, like food trucks and things like that, and outdoor patios. Now they clarify that outdoor patios are not included, but if you go inside to use the washroom, or if you're going inside for pickup, then you have to wear it, or if you're going inside to pay for some reason. Now, other places where you have to wear the face covering is retail stores, convenience stores, malls, plazas, restaurants, again, when you're using the takeout counter or to use the washroom, personal service settings, such as the salons or barbershops, when you're not getting the services done, like performed on you, again, reasonable expectations. You're supposed to wear them in the grocery stores and the bakeries, gas stations, but only inside the gas station. You don't have to wear them at the pump areas. And then also farmers markets. Indoor public areas only. You don't have to wear them outside, apparently, which makes sense. I mean, that's good. They're providing some leniency. And also repairs or mechanic shops and garages, you have to wear them in the indoor public areas only. The workshops and a lot of these places, like and a lot of the establishments, commercial establishments, it doesn't apply to them. Anywhere that's not available to the public, you're not required to wear the masks. Now, there was a question, now they also provided clarification, again, on where employees have to wear them. And again, it's places that are not accessible to the public or they don't have to wear them. This includes lounge areas, stock and storage rooms, workshop and service rooms, private offices, shipping and receiving areas, outdoor patios, and display areas at the part of the retail store. I'm getting this all from the health unit's website, if you want to take a look. Now, another one was, can I wear it if physical distancing isn't a concern? And no, you have to wear it everywhere that's public in an establishment. So, I mean, and it makes sense. Now, they've also clarified on when you should wash your cloth or non-medical face coverings, which is after each use. You can wash it with your regular laundry on the warmest water suitable for the material and dry on the highest heat setting or air dry, including putting it in direct sunlight if possible. Now, what is the proper way to put on a face covering and remove it? Putting it on, you wash your hands first or use hand sanitizer before putting on your face covering. You can fit it over your nose, mouth, and chin, and then fit as close to the sides of your face as possible, but making sure you can still breathe easily. Now, when you remove it, touch only the ties or the loops. Remove the face covering without touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. Fold the outside corners together, and then place the face covering in the washing machine. Wash your hands or use hand sanitizer after removing. All that is logical, and it's good that they're providing direction on that because that was one of the complaints I heard before. It was that people don't know how to actually use it. So if they provide direction, that's great. Just hopefully people actually listen to it versus, just finding reasons to complain about having to do it. That's what I sincerely hope. So who is responsible for providing the face coverings? The establishments may choose to have disposable masks available for the public, but it's not required. Visitors are required to supply their own face covering, which makes sense. I mean, you're required to supply your own clothes. And if you start taking your clothes off in a store, then they're required to get rid of you out of there because you're causing a disturbance to the public and you're also possibly harming the public's health. So that makes sense, and it makes sense when you smoke too. So here we go. This is the main one. And again, where we get into the comments made by local leadership. Now, will face covering requirements be enforced? Yes, they will. It's the responsibility of the owner or operator to ensure people do not enter without a face covering. We have similar rules for other societal norms, such as shirts, shoes, and cigarettes. Now, I get it. You don't want to put undue stress on business owners. I get that argument. But at the same time, you can't let customers walk all over you. If a customer, if you want to go with that argument, what's stopping a customer from going in, lighting up a cigarette, or saying, hey, it's too hot outside, I'm going to start taking off all my clothes. I mean, guess what? You need my money right now, so you're going to have to take it. So sorry. And you know what? I'm going to start harming the health of your other customers here too. And guess what? You need my money right now, and I'm spending enough, and you owe me because I'm shopping locally. So you better just take it. I don't like that argument. I find it I find it pretty sad. And I mean, this is where you get into things where it's like, again, local leadership. I mean, some of them have made that comment. Again, I don't agree with putting undue stress on the business owners, but again, we have other things. And also, we're trying to get the economy back in order. And like I said in my last segment on this, is that it's a trade-off. If you want to open up, we have to make sure that everyone wears masks. And again, this isn't the first thing that business owners are responsible for. They're responsible for making sure their customers wear clothes, and like they said, also cigarettes. And again, if a customer starts fighting in your establishment or harming the health, again, like with cigarettes and other things, you're responsible to stop that. And I don't like the free market argument for it, because it means poor people, like people who are vulnerable groups, are going to be more at risk to getting, to having to go to places where they have to be subjected to risks to their health. So, I mean, that's not fair. And because, I mean, the people that have money are able to avoid things like that. Just because they shop at Walmart now doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to not shop at Walmart. I mean, no matter how much money you have, you can always choose to shop where you want to. But when you only have a little bit of money, you don't have those options. And I don't like the argument where we basically force them into risking their health. So anyways, County Warden Darren White says County Council, this was with the radio station in town, and it can be found on the orangevilletoday.ca website. So County Warden Darren White says County Council was concerned with the $5,000 fine businesses would be subjected to fail to obey the order, and asked public health to avoid or hold off on it until the public is made more aware of the importance of face coverings. The first half I've already addressed with the fines. I mean, I don't find it a real argument. That's my opinion. But again, it's just a fact. We already have these things in place for other things. And I mean, for things that are less risky to your health than COVID. So anyways, the second argument, when he's asking public health to hold off on this until people actually understand the importance of face coverings. They've been trying to educate for a while now. And I don't think anyone's going to learn it until they're forced to be honest with you. I mean, I'm seeing too many people making fun of people and trying to shame people who do wear face coverings, who are overcautious. So, I mean, I feel like this is just going with public sentiment, and that gets into my next one. So they have comments here from the Dufferin Board of Trade Chair, Liz Skorsky, who says, who basically argued that they shouldn't be responsible for doing these things. And that's where I guess into my other argument earlier, where it's just like, hey, you can't let your customers walk all over you. So when I see these comments, I get annoyed, because I remember at the start of COVID, there was very little concern expressed for the small business owners when they were being publicly shamed and harassed by the public for trying to make a living and trying to pay their bills and trying to navigate the situation that was COVID, when there was little support and direction from the government. I made a video about this when I was for Dufferin Spotlight. It was really, again, pretty embarrassing. And it's embarrassing now that local leadership seems to be all outspoken about this when it's health concerns, but when you kind of had to go against the public and stand up for the small business owners, when it really, when it mattered a lot back then too, mattered more than, trying to get, the difficulties of trying to get someone to wear a mask. These small business owners were trying to make a living, and you guys said, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, you said nothing. You just went with what the public wanted you to, and it seems like you're doing that now. And people's health are being put at risk this time. And I mean, I find it sad that you're more willing to criticize the local health leaders in our community who are just trying their best to navigate a difficult situation. And there was very little criticism done of our government when there still isn't support for a lot of these small businesses. I mean, that rental program's a joke. And I mean, there's and now that they're trying to jail people who abuse CERB, or who quote unquote abuse CERB, in the efforts to try to get everyone back to work in these low paid jobs because they can't get part-time workers to get off CERB, is ridiculous. I mean, there's going to be small business owners who have lost their businesses because of that terrible, the government's terrible management when it comes to helping small businesses, specifically that rental subsidy. But now these guys, they're very quickly going to be forced into a position to have to take a minimum wage job when they used to have a small business of their own. And that's ridiculous to me. So I'm not going to get too deep into it, but anyways, that all leads to the health people, like the health unit, being left very little time to figure out how to mitigate public safety while reopening the economy. They were given very little time to figure it out, very little notice, just like everybody else, and they have to do something. And they showed a lot of leadership by coming out with this order. And again, it's embarrassing of our political leadership and some of our business leadership as well, speaking out against that. And again, when they didn't speak out against the things at the beginning, the public shaming and the harassing of the small businesses at the beginning of COVID, it's messed up. So, it's very tough to see. And again, it makes you question whether they're actual leaders or if they're just bending the public will, because that's not leadership. Just being honest, like that's straight up fact. But anyways, with these updates to the health order, it should help make things a little bit easier for employees. I hope they get the opportunity to go to places where they don't have to wear the masks. I know that might be a little bit difficult for the businesses overall, but I think we can manage. And this is supposed to be an improvement over where we were just a week ago. Because again, we're not over COVID yet. It just seems more to me like the government's trying to get everyone back to work, because they're falling in line with what the corporations want, because they really didn't want to provide enough supports to small businesses. That seems what this is, to me. I'm just gonna be honest. But anyways, again, the health people, like the health units, just trying to navigate through it. We need to give them some patience. And I mean, as far as people criticizing the local health unit goes, I mean, most of us have probably had a situation where their boss has thrown you into a place where you didn't expect to be, and you've had very little time to figure it out, and you're going to take all the blame for when things go wrong. I mean, I've been there, and I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when I worked for a big corporation, that happened to me a lot, so I sympathize with these guys. And I can sympathize with them even more, because with me, it was only money. It was a lot of money if you messed up. And with these guys, if they mess up, people actually do die. And they're trying to prevent that. And they're the ones that are going to get saddled with it. Because, I mean, honestly, a lot of these politicians are going to be gone in a short period of time. They don't have to take the responsibility on this one. They'll just push the blame to everyone else. The health people are trying to take real leadership here, and they're trying to help the community. And again, we should be grateful for that. We shouldn't be bothering them and trying to discourage them from doing these things. I mean, it takes real leadership to stand out like that, and we should respect it. So anyways, thank you so much, and I hope you wear a mask, please. Have a great one.